Hello, welcome to day 91 of 365. Today's study will upload on April the 2nd at 5 p.m. Yesterday we read that the ancient Israelites were commanded by God to organize themselves into tribes of fighting men. They are building an army. All of this is in preparation of entering the promised land. Jesus also teaches us how to prepare to enter the promised land. I want to pick back up on that theme, the promised land, today. So let's open our Bibles to Numbers chapter 2, and we're going to read chapters 2 and 3. Arrangement of the camp. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, "The people of Israel shall camp each by his own standard, with the banners of their fathers' houses. They shall camp facing the tent of meeting on every side." So the tent of meeting is in the center, and they are all encamped all around facing the tent of meeting. Those to the camp on the east side toward the sunrise shall be of the standard of the camp of Judah by their companies. On the east side toward the sunrise, remember that Jesus, the Messiah, comes from the line of Judah. Of the camp of Judah by their companies, the chief of the people of Judah being Nahshon, the son of Amminadab. His company as listed being 74,600. Those to camp next to him shall be the tribe of Issachar, the chief of the people of Issachar being Nathanael, the son of Zuar. His company as listed being 54,400. Then the tribe of Zebulun, the chief of the people of Zebulun being Eliab, the son of Helon. His company as listed being 57,400. All those listed of the camp of Judah by their companies were 186,400. They shall set out first on the march. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben by their companies. The chief of the people of Reuben being Eliezer, and the son of Shadur. His company as listed being 46,500. And those to camp next to him shall be the tribe of Simeon, the chief of the people of Simeon being Shalomiel, the son of Zurishaddai. His company as listed being 59,300. Then the tribe of Gad, the chief of the people of Gad being Eliasaph, the son of Ruel. His company as listed being 45,650. All those listed of the camp of Reuben by their companies were 151,450. They shall set out second. So this is going to be the movement. And God here is talking about the fighting men. They will go before. Remember, this 600 and some odd thousand men are fighting men. There are also women and children and males and females below the age of 20. So there are a lot of Israelites. Then the tent of meeting shall set out with the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camps as they camp. So shall they set out, each in position, standard by standard. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim by their companies. These are the non-fighting people. The chief of the people of Ephraim being Elishama, the son of Amminhud. His company is listed being 40,500. And next to him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, the chief of the people of Manasseh being Gamaliel, the son of Pedhazur. His company as listed being 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin, the chief of the people of Benjamin being Abidan, the son of Gideoni. His company as listed 35,400. All those listed of the camp of Ephraim by their companies were 108,100. 108,100. They shall set out third on the march. So there's armies, and then non-fighting people, and then I think an army behind that, if I'm reading this correctly. If I'm not, correct me down below. We don't really need to understand that completely for our salvation, but it's good to know because we're reading the Bible word for word, and the goal is to understand the Bible. On the north side shall be the standard of the camp of Dan by their companies, the chief of the people of Dan being Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, his company as listed being 62,700. These are the fighting men, I think, and those to camp next to him shall be the tribe of Asher, the chief of the people of Asher being Pagiel, the son of Akron, his company as listed being 41,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, the chief of the people of Naphtali being Ahirah, the son of Enan, his company as listed being 53,400. All those listed of the camp of Dan were 157,600. They shall set out last, standard by standard. This makes military sense, that the rear would be guarded by fighting men, the front would be guarded by fighting men, and probably the sides as well. In any event, their sheer numbers, I think, would be a deterrent. These are the people of Israel as listed by their fathers' houses. All of those listed in the camps by their companies were 603,550. You couldn't resist yourself, could you? But the Levites were not listed among the people of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. You're not allowed to eat the tassel on my bookmark. Thus did the people of Israel according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So they camped by their standards, and so they set out, each one in his clan, according to his father's house. The sons of Aaron, and now we're starting in chapter 3. These are the generations of Aaron and Moses at the time when the Lord spoke with Moses on Mount Sinai. These are the names of the sons of Aaron. She's after any chain tassel she can find. Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the anointed priests, whom he ordained to serve as priests. But Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord when they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. I think that's in the book of Leviticus, and I don't believe we've read that chapter yet, but they broke a law, or maybe we did read it. I don't recall, but I will tell you, they broke a law and they died. I think we did read it. So Eleazar and Ithamar served as priests in the lifetime of Aaron, their father. The duties of the Levites. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Bring the tribe of Levi near, and set them before Aaron the priest, that they may minister to him. They shall keep guard over him and over the whole congregation before the tent of meeting, as they minister at the tabernacle. They shall guard all the furnishings of the tent of meeting, and keep guard over the people of Israel, as they minister at the tabernacle. And you shall give the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They are wholly given to him from among the people of Israel. And you shall appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall guard their priesthood. But if any outsider comes near, he shall be put to death. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Behold, I have taken the Levites from among the people of Israel, instead of every firstborn who opens the womb among the people of Israel. The Levites shall be mine, for all the firstborn are mine. On the day that I struck down all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I consecrated for my own all the firstborn in Israel, both of man and of beast. They shall be mine. I am the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, List the sons of Levi by fathers' houses and by clans. Every male from a month old and upwards you shall list. So Moses listed them according to the word of the Lord, as he was commanded. And these were the sons of Levi by their names, Gershon and Kohath and Merari. And these are the names of the sons of Gershon by their clans, Libni and Shimei. And the sons of Kohath by their clans, Amram, Izhar, Hebram, and Uzziel. And the sons of Merari by their clans, Mahli and Mushi. Mali and Mushi. These are the clans of the Levites by their fathers' houses. To Gershon belonged the clan of the Libnites and the clan of the Shimeites. These were the clans of the Gershonites. Their listing according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward was 7,500. The clans of the Gershonites were to camp behind the tabernacle on the west with Eliasaph and the son of Lael as chief of the father's house of the Gershonites. And the guard duty of the sons of Gershon in the tent of meeting involved the tabernacle, the tent with its covering, the screen for the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the hangings of the court, the screen for the door of the court that is around the tabernacle and the altar and its cords and all the service connected with those. Every man had a role. They knew what their role was. It was assigned to them by God. They were on a mission from God, and their destination was the promised land. And the same is true of our lives. We all have a mission. First and foremost, to know God, that is wisdom, and to reject sin, that is understanding, and to make the author of the word known to our fellow man. And we are also destined to the promised land, which is life eternal. To Kohath belonged the clan of the Amramites, and the clan of the Israelites, and the clan of the Hebronites, and the clan of the Uzzielites. These are the clans of the Kohathites, according to the number of all the males, from a month old and upward. There were 8,600, keeping guard over the sanctuary. The clans of the sons of Kohath were to camp on the south side of the tabernacle, with Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel, the chief of the father's house of the clans of the Kohathites. And their guard duty involved the ark, the table, the lampstand, the altars, the vessels of the sanctuary with which the priests minister, and the screen, all the service connected with these. And Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, was to be chief over the chiefs of the Levites, and to have oversight of those who kept guard over the sanctuary. To Merari belonged the clan of the Malites and the clan of the Mushites. These are the clans of Merari. Their listing, according to the number of all the males from a month old and upward, was 6,200. And the chief of the father's house of the clans Merari was Zoriel, the son of Abihail. They were to camp on the north side of the tabernacle. And the appointed guard duty of the sons of Merari involved the frames of the tabernacle, the bars, the pillars, the bases, and all their accessories, all the service connected with these, also the pillars around the court, with their bases and pegs and cords. Those who were to camp before the tabernacle on the east, before the tent of meeting, toward the sunrise, were Moses and Aaron and his sons, guarding the sanctuary itself to protect the people of Israel, and any outsider who came near was to be put to death. That is because any outsider would have gotten past the others and shouldn't have, and so they were to assume, I am assuming, but I think it's an accurate assumption. I've also studied the military movements of Napoleon and Wellington, although the Bible is the ultimate authority, and they also studied the military movements of the ancient Israelites. All those listed among the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron listed at the commandment of the Lord by clans, all the males from a month old and upward, were 22,000. Redemption of the firstborn. And the Lord said to Moses, list all the firstborn males of the people of Israel from a month old and upward, taking the number of their names. And you shall take the Levites for me, I am the Lord, instead of all the firstborn among the people of Israel. So that is sort of a vicarious atonement, where the firstborn of the Levites are offering themselves on behalf of the firstborn of everybody else, to not offering themselves to sacrifice, but to sacrifice in the tabernacle, to sacrifice themselves as servants of God to the people, as mediators. Another picture of vicarious atonement. I am the Lord. And the cattle of the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the cattle of the people of Israel. So their cattle are also being, the firstborn of the Levites' cattle are being offered in place of the firstborn of everybody else's cattle. So Moses listed all the firstborn among the people of Israel as the Lord commanded him, and all the firstborn males according to the number of names from a month old and upward as listed were 22,273. And the Lord spoke to Moses saying, take the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the people of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of their cattle. The Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. And as the redemption price for the 273 of the firstborn of the people of Israel, over and above the number of the male Levites, you shall take 5 shekels per head. You shall take them according to the shekel of the sanctuary, the shekel of the 20 gerahs, and give the money to Aaron and his sons as the redemption price for those who are over. So Moses took the redemption money from those who were over and above those redeemed by the Levites. From the firstborn of the people of Israel, he took the money, 1,365 shekels, by the shekel of the sanctuary. And Moses gave the redemption money to Aaron and his sons, according to the word of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. Let's understand that Jews do this to this day, observant Jews that belong to synagogues. If they have the name Levi, Cohen, Kohan, Levine, or any variation thereof, they either dedicate their sons to rabbinical service or they redeem with a payment. I don't know the breakdown of that payment, but they still follow these laws. As well as others, they redeem their firstborns with a payment. So now we're going to read Matthew chapter 10, the entire chapter. And he called to him his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal every disease and affliction. So his closest 12, those who he chose as apostles, but he calls them disciples here. The names of the 12 apostles, now he says, are these. First, Simon, who is called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew, the tax collector, James, the son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent out, instructing them, go nowhere among the Gentiles and enter no town of the Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That is, those in need of the Savior, the lost sheep of the Jews. So first it was to proclaim to the Jews the good news, and proclaim as you go, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse lepers, cast out demons. You received without paying, give without pay. So, if you are following, and I am going to say this without apology and without retreat, no apology, no retreat. If you are following an online or television or televangelist healer, and they are asking you for money, do not give it and question their authority. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse the lepers, cast out demons. You received without paying, give without pay. Acquire no gold or silver or copper for your belts, no bag for your journey, or 2 tunics, or sandals, or a staff, for the laborer deserves his food. And whatever town or village you enter, find out who is worthy in it, and stay there until you depart. As you enter the house, greet it. And if the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. And if anyone will not receive you or listen to your words, shake off the dust from your feet when you leave that house or town. Truly, I say to you, it will be more bearable on the day of judgment for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah than for that town. So I want to speak about, and I'm not going to name specific ministries because we're not to tear down the body of Christ. However, I am going to mention practices because this is in the Bible. The equivalent back then of today, flying around in private jets and luxury limousines or automobiles and extremely expensive suits in order to spread the word of God. The equivalent back then would have been, they would have been carried in a palanquin, that is carried by servants in a enclosed structure to keep the beds off, the bugs off of them and so forth. They did not travel like that. They walked from city to city with just enough for their need, not even a change of clothes. They were fed when they were in those towns, and that makes sense. So anyone ministering to us and spreading the gospel, whether it is on YouTube or television or broadcast in any way, if they are traveling by means of private aircraft, living a very luxurious life, you should question their ministry. No doubt God can use them, but I would question if they need to be that wealthy. I'm sorry, it flies in the face of the Bible, and I find, in all my years of reading the entire Bible, I find no justification for it at all. Persecution will come. Behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of men, for they will deliver you over to courts and flog you in their synagogues. And you will be dragged before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them and the Gentiles. When they deliver you over, do not be anxious how you are to speak or what you are to say, for what you are to say will be given to you in that hour. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. Brother will deliver brother over to death, and the father his child, and children will rise against parents and have them put to death. And you will be hated by all for my name's sake. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. When they persecute you in one town, flee to the next. For truly I say to you, you will not have gone through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man comes. A disciple is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for the disciple to be like his teacher, and the servant like his master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, how much more will they malign those of his household? Meaning, be prepared for this. And Jesus is saying, remember, they said that I cast out demons by the prince of demons. So what are they going to say about you? Be prepared for that, is what Jesus is saying. And some of this he's talking about the immediate persecution that they will receive and future persecution. Prophetic, he's prophesying for future spreaders of the gospel. But have no fear. So have no fear of them, for nothing is covered that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. What I tell you in the dark, say in the light, and what you hear whispered, proclaim on the housetops. So remember that when Jesus was preaching in parables, he would tell the disciples plainly when they were by themselves what it meant. And he is telling them, go ahead, speak it aloud. You've heard me, Jesus said to them, you heard me tell others, keep this quiet. I'm no longer telling you to do that. Don't keep it quiet. Everything you've seen done, proclaim it from the housetops. And do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell. So that is, don't sell your soul to the devil. Don't do things to get yourself ahead that are contrary to God's law. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? And are not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father? But even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore. You are more value than many sparrows. So everyone who acknowledges me before men, I also will acknowledge before my Father who is in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I also will deny before my Father who is in heaven. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against his mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Because we're idolizing our parents, and we should not do that. We worship God and God alone, and Jesus is who we follow and love. And whoever does not make his cross and follow me, take up his cross and follow me, is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Again, don't sell your soul for any kind of freedom, money, or otherwise. Whoever receives you receives me, and whoever receives me receives him who sent me. The one who receives a prophet because he is a prophet will receive a prophet's reward, and the one who receives a righteous person because he is a righteous person will receive a righteous person's reward. And whoever gives one of these little ones even a cup of cold water because he is a disciple, truly, I say to you, he will by no means lose his reward. So take care of children and those who are preaching the gospel. Take care of them and make sure their needs are met. Don't take care of them to the point of exorbitant wealth. It's questionable. Their ministry becomes questionable. Thank you for joining me in reading scripture today. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow.